I'm Sarah Jones with the Tush Real Estate Group powered by EXP.
Lewis Ruben here with the Empire Mortgage Group.
So what I'm seeing on my side as an agent is all of a sudden we're seeing a lot of buyers come back to the market. Why do you think this is happening?
So yeah, we're seeing an uptick also of a lot of pre-approvals come back on the market a lot sooner than we thought. Obviously, the spring market is usually that benchmark of when people start to get back in the market. But we're here in middle of February and it's almost just as busy, mostly because of that last interest rate hike that we got. Even though it went up 0.25%, the notation on the back end of that was that rates are going to be on pause. So that may be a little bit of a psychological trigger to some people to be like, okay, maybe the worst is over. So it's not going to get any worse than that. So we might as well jump off the fence now and get into the market.
Get in maybe before the spring market.
Sure, yeah.
Right. We're seeing a lot of more houses come to market than January.
On our end, we're seeing a lot of where everyone's so fixated on variable rates. And we know obviously last year variable rates went up 8 times, 9 times, right? Fixed rates were off the spotlight all of last year. In the last quarter of 2022, so I'm talking like November, December, fixed rates actually have dropped to the lowest it's been since last year. I think a lot of people never knew that, so we're trying to educate buyers like, hey, whereas before we all know variable rates were always lower than fixed rates are actually lower than variable now. So it kind of flipped on itself.
And they never really published that in the news,
they
so
don't,
everyone was panicking.
So meanwhile, we're here going, oh, there's a window of opportunity.
Right.
Ironically enough, that window closed, or it's closing really quickly, but we've been able to get quite a few buyers. Right now, we don't recommend a long-term fixed, just simply because the market forecast seems like the rates are going to start dropping at some point, either end of this year or early next year. Again, forecast. We don't want to lock people into 5-year fixes and them overshoot it. Because as you know, with fixed rates, if you try to break it, you pay a hefty penalty. So what we don't want is the people locking into a 5-year fix. 2 years later, rates start to drop and all you can do is just sit there and watch it because you have to go for at least the 5 years period, right? We're trying to putting you still into a fix, but shorter term. So we're talking 1 or 2 year fixes to try and guesstimate when that ideal situation for you to renew would be. We're not doing too much 5-year variables because, like I said, the variable is so high right now. Even though it gives you the flexibility to convert to a fix, we're still thinking that 1 or 2 year or short-term fixes are, I think, more of the preferred way to go right now. Just get into the market. You're going to be paying higher interest for 1 or 2 years, but at least you're getting into the market now. We don't know what it's going to be like when spring market hits.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
Right?
It's going to be crazy.
What we just don't want happening is where people are waiting because interest rates are too high, housing prices are dropping, but then they miss both boats and multiple offers come back, no more conditions available again, and guess what? Now you're overbidding $100,000 again on a house.
It's true. Last February, average price in London anyways was around $832,000 roughly, and we're seeing it sit at, I think this month was about $532,000.
That's huge.
That's a huge drop, even with the interest rates higher than last year. So I like to tell my buyers that if you're still saving money compared to the lower interest rate.
This is not a matter of Sarah thinks it's that, Lewis thinks it's this. This is down to numbers. Numbers don't lie. Last year, a $700,000 house in London, maybe it was on for what, 800? The interest rate was at 2.5%. So now people are like, okay, I don't want to get into it because interest rates are at 6% now. But that house now listed at $700,000 will go for $700,000. So you're saving that $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 over your neighbor that bought it last year at $900,000.
Absolutely.
What does that work out to in numbers? Well, if we even triple your interest rate, it works out to about $50,000 over 5 years. So $50,000 more of interest you're paying, but you save $200,000 on the house. Payments are going to be maybe slightly higher. It's going to offset because your mortgage is going to be lower, but your interest is going to be higher. So go for it. People that are waiting right now are banking on something that may not happen because they're waiting for the bottom.
Some of them are saying, oh, I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for it to collapse. And what I'm worried about for all these buyers sitting there is at the spring market, like you said, we're going to see multiple offers again because we are already starting to see that now. No conditions and overbidding on prices where right now some houses you can go in and offer less than the asking price.
We don't know what's going to happen next month. We don't even know what's going to happen next week. If it makes sense for you to get in, if the monthly payments make sense and they're manageable, you can find a home that you're not, compromising. Why are we waiting?
Why do you think for first-time home buyers right now it would be a good idea for them?
It's like a door that's kind of been open since June. where we are able to put conditions back on. Housing prices it's becoming more of a buyer's market right now.
Right.
But I think that window is slowly closing. It's going to shift potentially back to the seller's market very quickly. That's my prediction. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, I agree.
But right now, they're a little bit more relaxed because they have more time. We can put offers in risk-free, right? Conditions are everything right now. You can still put a condition of finance. So if for whatever reason we can't get the proper financing in place, you can still get your deposit back. Home inspection is crazy. When you go and see a house, there's things that your eyes aren't trained to see.
Right.
Whereas home inspectors obviously look for stuff like that and can protect you. And so those are a couple of things that I think are helping first-time home buyers right now. A lot less stressful. Let's put it that way. It's been a lot less stressful for buyers over the last 6 months than the previous year and a half.
Yes. Yes. Right. And like how emotional, like mentally, is it people were putting in multiple offers and not getting them.
Sure.
At that point, you're trying on every house.
Exactly.
Where now you have an opportunity to go look at 10 houses and pick.